Welcome back, those of you watching at halftime, and if you're watching on YouTube, it's time to preview the men's basketball season. Here's head coach William Monts. Coach, thanks a lot for giving us some of your time.
Thanks for having me.
So this is the quote-unquote preview. We'll be a few games into the season by the point that this airs, but just give us your thoughts about the off season.
Guys have been working hard. We've had about 4 or 5 weeks of preseason, and that usually entails 2 individual basketball workouts, 2 weight days, a conditioning/weight day, pool day, and a yoga day. So that pretty much covers all 5 days for us, where the guys are pretty active. And so very proud of preseason. They've been going hard in study hall as well, making sure we're hitting the books and taking care of their academics. And practices have gone well so far. So
I was kind of with you during the off season a little bit, and especially during the recruiting. It was interesting to see the behind the scenes to that, and it's good to see that your hairline is still where it is right now. But you were able to bring in quite a few people. Talk a little bit about the recruiting class.
Okay. We've got 5 new recruits, transfer, Stephen Horton, and then 4 incoming freshmen, Stephon Cates, Christian Williams, Truth Freeland, and E.J. Patterson. A lot of length with a good many of those guards, some good athleticism I think we've added to the program, and really good kids, high character kids, good in the classroom. And so really excited. They've done a very good job. The chemistry is going well with the team. They've meshed very well, and so excited to see what those guys can do.
You look at, you have to replace somebody like Rashad up front. Did you get the size that you think you need to really compete and make that championship run again?
Yeah, that'll be the question. Rashad Ali.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, he's going to be missed for sure. Him and Tamur, both graduating seniors with some size. I'm really hoping that Thomas Hay and Tyler Triplett can kind of help cover that. And then Danilo Radonjic has got a little bit of size for me. And then also E.J. Patterson, one of the incoming recruits, has got some really good length at about 6'3", maybe pushing 6'4". So I think we've got some guys that can actually take that spot. It's a matter of how hard they work, because Rashad, that was his MO, was his work ethic, and he wasn't going to let anybody outwork him.
Well, I can't speak to that, but I do know. I remember watching the games last year and thinking to myself that if Tyler was a guy who had more opportunities, obviously Rashad was there, that he could be a double-double guy. He could fill that role.
Yeah, definitely. And so him and Thomas will really split that at the beginning of the year, and as well as work EJ and Danilo into some of those roles. Just keep it simple and make sure they're concentrating on defending and not trying to do too much in that spot. And I think they'll do just fine.
You have a guy like Ty Johnson who can come in, and he's a senior, but he's more like a throwback, like player coach. I think the last one of those I remember was in the 90s or something like. But he's that kind of a guy for you. Is that a fair assessment of Ty?
Yeah, very fair. I think Ty can't wait to get to the coaching business. Tried to talk him out of it many a times, but no, I'm just kidding. He's going to be extremely successful, and he loves it, loves the game, knows the game, and is a great senior leadership from him. And so yeah, he's definitely stepped up to that role, and which is a role he's had pretty much throughout college, just doing things the right way all the time. And so yeah, we definitely look to him for that, and he's done a great job of kind of maintaining the team and keeping the team in check.
I don't want to go player by player with the returners, but I do want to focus a little bit on Garth. He didn't get to play at all last year. How is his progress? Is he going to be good to go this year? And what do you look for after a year off from a guy like that?
Yeah, everybody is healthy except for David Grice. He actually just came down with a bum ankle, and he's got some chronic ankle injury, so he's actually probably going to have surgery on that. Other than that, Everybody is healthy, and as far as Garth goes, Garth is extremely smart. I mean, he knows the game. He's not going to outquick you, but he's got good size for a guard. He's strong, and he can make sure that we get into what we need to get into. So I'm excited to see what Garth can bring to the table. I was excited about him at the beginning of last year, and then obviously he went down with his knee injury. But yeah, Garth he's ready to roll, and should see some of them on the court this year.
Is this team deeper than last year's team?
It is, yeah. With the addition of the recruits, and we did lose 2 players that ended up transferring for other reasons. But, yeah, we should have a decent amount of depth, which I'm excited about. Practices have gone well. I haven't had to practice any, so that's a good sign as far as depth when I don't have to play that last 10th man. So that's been really good.
Let's talk a little bit about the schedule. By the time this airs, this will be the Piedmont game that people are watching this. And by the way, the Owls are probably up by 20. I'm just going to make that prediction right now. I'm sorry, Coach.
We might have to redo this whole thing at this point.
But, a couple of games under your belt. Obviously, the schedule fairly similar to last year, but a little bit lighter on the D1s and the D2s this year. A couple of D1s. Just kind of give us the overview of the schedule.
Okay. I think we've got a pretty balanced schedule, more so than last year for sure. I like the spacing in our games. We've got 2 D1 games at Coastal Carolina and then the Citadel, so those will be tough. They're 2 of our guarantee games, and then we still do have 3 D2s. So we went with 3 D2s again. We've got Mars Hill. We go there. We go to Pfeiffer, and then Lees McRae returns the game to us. So I know they'll be hungry after we beat them at their place last year. So 3 very challenging games. After that, I feel like we've got a good many teams that are right on the same level as we are as far as scholarships and things like that. So now how we do, it's still up to question, but I think we've got a good schedule, good balance in different teams. That we can be competitive in.
Well, that Johnson and Wales tournament, I talked to Robin about this for the women's side. That's key for them. Really, to get into that tournament, as many USCAA games as you can get, the better, and as many wins as you can get under those. You have Mid-Atlantic Christian coming here. Johnson and Wales, you'll do the home and away in addition to the classic that they're running there. So obviously a lot of opportunities there as well.
Yeah, that classic has been great for us, and I appreciate Johnson and Wales having us in that classic every year. They're able to get some of those USCAA teams to come to that classic, and so yeah, we've got Penn State Fayette first, and then St. Joseph's Vermont the second day, and but just a very good classic for us, and it's important. I'd love to at least split on that, and be great to get them both. But just getting that first win is always huge for a team, and then that we can go from there. So, but yeah, looking forward to that classic with them.
I talked to Matt Sims with the USCAA, and it's on our YouTube page if anybody wants to check it out. But I asked him about how would you feel about conferences? You have Penn State schools are all in a conference. It makes sense for that to happen. And then there's, I think, a Yankee conference or something like that up north. Down south, is that something that you would be open to and talking about?
Yeah, I would definitely be open to it. I think we need to get a couple more teams down here. But yet I think more teams would be willing to consider the USCAA if they knew that there was a conference available. I think that's it's a tough thing knowing that I've got an independent schedule pretty much every year, and there are teams around here that might be willing to look at it. So it would definitely be good, and but right now it's been okay figuring things out. But yeah, I'm all for it if we can get some other teams in the South.
It's just kind of interesting to hear a coach's perspective on it. I mean, you have a team like Berea that's come in. I know you guys go to Berea, I think, this year. And then, Johnson and Wales, and there's a few others as well. Well, Coach, we'll let you go. Best of luck this season. We'll check in a few times, but good luck to you, and thanks for giving us some of your time.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
This is head coach William Monts in his second year here at Warren Wilson. Those of you watching at halftime, we will take a short break, and then we'll give you stats and the second half play-by-play. Thanks.